front of me I have all the machines that I use. When you start out metal detecting, usually start out with one machine, but you find that's not enough. You need more than one to do certain things that you have to do to find coins and gold or whatever you want to find. There's one over here on the bottom that's strictly a water machine. When you go scuba diving, you could take this machine with you. It works very well under the water and it floats. There's a rope on here and you make sure there's a good double knot and you tie it onto your belt, because when you find something you have to let go of the metal detector, and if you let go and it's not tied to your body, you're going to lose it. The current will sweep it away and you'll be short a metal detector. So whenever you go in the ocean or in a land near the ocean, you have to have something to protect it so that you don't lose your machine.
While you're on the topic of that, why don't you show us your other water detector, the one you use on the beach here, that in the surf, where the waves coming in and out.
This machine is strictly a water machine, a deep water machine. You could use it on the beach in low water as you're walking along, but this thing you can go diving with. It has earphones attached to it, so that when you go under the water, you can hear. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear when the machine finds something for you. So this is a very good machine. I always use this when I go in the water. This was the first land machine that I ever used. It's a good land machine because in most places you go, the things that you'll find are not too deep, and it works good in shallow places, and you can adjust it, and it takes batteries that you can find anywhere. This is a good machine, but you have to learn how to use it. It takes a long time to learn all the bad things about the machine. It's a fairly good machine. And this is the one that I like to use mostly, because once you set it up, it holds the setting.
And that machine tells you codes, whether it's silver or gold or junk metal.
Yeah, it's a very, very good machine.
Okay, well let's...
For land use, it's probably the best one. Second best would be this. In areas where kids play and they, playgrounds and stuff like that. And this one too, it's like the other two land machines, but you got to get used to using it.
So here's a few of the homemade scoops that he's been using.
In the ocean, would use this. Of course, you really have to go down deep, and you have to pull it up, hold it, see what it is. Sometimes you don't always get valuable things. You get junk. What you have here will fit most of the digging that you'll do in the water, the ocean, a lake. But if you have to change it, all these screws are stainless steel, and the nuts are stainless steel. And these are hollow pieces of plastic. They're very strong. I made them because they're light and they don't rust. This here comes from a plumber's pipe, a pipe protector. What it is sponge rubber, and it'll help float. Sometimes you have to dig and you let this go, but it's tied to your belt. But this will help the item float so you can see it right away and you can grab it.
And how would that
This-
scoop be used? Just in
It's
sand?
made with such big holes so you can sift it out right away. As soon as you pick up something, you'll be able to tell what you have. Even things as small as a dime won't go through. This is a handy thing to have when you go metal detecting. I used to put my findings, larger findings in this container, smaller ones in here. It goes around your waist with a belt. And then here, I was able to attach on the belt different items that I need for digging. And then this has a place where you could put on a shovel and a knife. And you could put other items in here that you might want to use, whatever they are. Very handy to have when you go metal detecting. Another one here for another knife or an ice pick that we used to use sometime to get into a spot. Every once in a while, I would save the gold in a certain area. The gold, some of these things, when you find them, they're damaged and they're worth less money. But it was a lot of fun just to take this stuff and bring it. Used to have a store. Nobody was ever in the store because he was always in the back. The store was always locked. And but it looked like you're going into a lawyer's office.
Pop, how much do you think you sold over the years? The ballpark figure?
I don't know, maybe $5,000 worth of gold
Okay.
over the years. Every once in a while, I'd take in $1,500, $1,000, bring them over there, and he would write them up and weigh each piece, and that was it. I'd go home. And these three frames are either silver or gold or diamonds. That's why I put them in a frame. They're all valuable and they're all old. Some are very old, some are just old. And each one has a story. I would have to tell you the story about each one. I'd have to be here for the next 2 weeks. But anyway, it's very interesting. And if somebody wants to know something, I could show it to you, tell you about it, if I can remember. But there's so many things that it's hard to remember where I found all of them and what they represent. But it's a lot of fun collecting them. They're very valuable. Someday somebody's going to benefit from this.
Okay, so this is just a fraction of the collection and
This is
found
just
in 40
a
years.
small portion of the collection. They're all valuables that I found a little at a time. Some of them goes back a long time, some not. But like this one here is from 1880. It's a foreign coin. This is 1902. The rest of these coins are all old. This one's from 1917, World War II. It's a World War II quarter. This one is older, 1902. This is a 1920 dime. This nickel is so old the date was worn off. Here's 1905, 1880. It's an Indian head penny.
Do you remember where you found any of them?
This particular one I remember. I found it in the park. You know, the area in the park had like bushes all around the edges of the park. And this one was unbelievable. I happened to be near there, and the dirt was loose. And this thing showed up. I picked it up. And I was very much surprised. The rest of them I had to dig to get. This thing here is a mason knife from the Masons. It's a silver jacket, and it has a Mason's insignia in the front, on the top, right there. Yeah. It's a very unusual find. It's very old. How old it is, I don't know. You'd have to go to the Masons to find out. Here's a sterling silver hairpin with a stone in it. I don't know what the stone might be a diamond, I don't know. This is a 3006 World War I Winchester rifle bullet.
Do you remember where you found that?
Very old. Huh?
Do you remember where you found it?
I don't know if I remember. There's one here that's very unusual. It's a hand. It's ivory. You don't find ivory anymore. But it's made in a certain hand. It's like to ward off spirits. This one here has a foreign language on it. It's 18 karat gold, but it has all different words on it, but in some foreign language. I couldn't find anybody to read it and decipher what it means yet. And it has a ruby in the middle. A very unusual find. But here's another very unusual one. A sterling silver hand. In the middle of the palm of a hand, there's a heart cut out. Very unusual thing. And it's sterling silver. Where it came from or what it's for, I have no idea. These things are made by a machine. Years ago, I don't know if they still have those machines, but years ago they used to take pennies and put them into a machine.
Smashes them and stretches
and
them out.
these things used to come out.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of items. Here's an old quarter. You can see the eagle flying on the quarter. Somebody cut it out and used it as a souvenir.